I remember being a kid and my older cousin giving me his old Game Boy and a copy of Tetris. I sunk hours of my life into that game. By middle school though, my favorite waste of time was emulating Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on my PSP. Imagine how psyched I was when last week I found out about this thing. The device you're looking at right now is a Retroflag GPi. Retroflag is a company that specializes in manufacturing retro-style cases and other hardware for the Raspberry Pi family of computers, and the GPi is their take on the original Game Boy. You can tell that Retroflag put a lot of effort into keeping the GPi's styling as close to that of the original Game Boy as possible. They've even gone so far as to integrate the L and R buttons into the GPi's back while maintaining the lines of the original Game Boy. Apart from those L and R buttons, the GPi includes many updates from the original Game Boy, including an X and Y button, optional USB power, a 2.8-inch LCD display, and the star of the show, an entire Raspberry Pi Zero W hidden inside of the GPi's cartridge. Much like the original Game Boy, the GPi also runs on 3 AA batteries. However, unlike in the original Game Boy, those 3 AA batteries are powering a small Linux computer capable of emulating most retro consoles. The GPi also has a 3.5mm jack, volume and contrast sliders, and my personal favorite feature, a locking mechanism to hold the cartridge in place once the power is turned on, so that the cartridge can't fall out and your data cannot be corrupted. Getting into the device's performance, the Raspberry Pi Zero powering the GPi does better than expected, especially with a slight overclock and while running Supreme GPi's incredibly well optimized pre-built RetroPie image. What the GPi lacks in raw power, it makes up for through the huge amount of community support and active development the community has. While running Supreme GPi, I found that previously unplayable GBA and PS1 games ran perfectly, and the GPi handled just about everything I threw at it just fine, purely due to the optimization found in the Supreme build. However, even with a less optimized or more bare-bones OS installation, such as the also available Laka or Recalbox distros, the GPi will run almost hundreds of emulators and other software just fine, and the list just keeps growing. When it comes to price, the GPi alone retails for around $70, but since that comes without the Raspberry Pi and the Zero or Zero W is frequently sold out on its own, I would recommend picking it up as part of a kit. I got mine for $100 from GeekPi, and that kit came with everything I needed to get started with the GPi, as well as a cartridge-friendly heatsink to allow overclocking, and a carrying case to keep the GPi safe. While there are definitely pocket emulator consoles out there with better performance for $100, or similar performance at a cheaper price, the GPi genuinely stands out due to the fact that it is based off the insanely configurable Pi Zero, as well as its awesome design. Playing ROMs on my phone or my old hacked PSP pales in comparison to the experience the GPi offers. This thing genuinely makes me feel the same way I felt when I was 4 and got my first Game Boy Advance. It makes me want to actually pick up and play all the old games I haven't wanted to play in years, and tinkering with it, it's genuinely fun in and of itself. For all this alone, I'd say it's worth it 100%. In this video, I just wanted to offer some first thoughts on the GPi, but stay tuned to this channel for more videos and maybe even some tutorials as I keep playing with the device and figuring out what it's capable of. Thanks for watching!